Breaking up UK. Nicola Sturgeon would join an alliance to block the Tories from staying in power. Britons have reacted with fury following the announcement of the SNP's cooperation with the Greens and the threat of reimposed COVID restrictions. Last week, Nicola Sturgeon announced a power-sharing agreement with the Green Party. The deal was agreed in order to give the SNP a joint majority in Holyrood after missing out on the mark by one seat in May. Announcing the agreement, the SNP and Greens have pledged to hold an independence referendum in the next 5 years. The group have, however, insisted they want to hold a second vote by the end of 2023. This comes as Ms. Sturgeon also warned of the reintroduction of COVID measures due to rising cases north of the border. Due to this, readers lashed out with fury against Ms. Sturgeon. One reader said, "I suspect the independence cause probably has a staunch following of 25 to 30% max. However, don't think this will stop the SNP zealots. They will reduce the voting age to nursery school pupils and open the franchise to household pets. It gets them across the line." A second said, "Failed as a solicitor for incompetence, failed the Scots people as incompetent. A clear pattern developing." Another said, "Scotland is a third world country under SNP." A fourth said, "I voted for independence in 2014. I would not do the same if the opportunity arose again, entirely down to Sturgeon's appalling governance of our nation. Her SNP is corrupt and incompetent, not necessarily the SNP but her." In the May election, Ms. Sturgeon's party won 64 seats in the election, one short of a majority. With the 7 Green MSP's seats, the two now have a majority in Holyrood and can push on with Ms. Sturgeon's hopes to break up the UK. Commenting on the agreement, Ms. Sturgeon said, "The spirit of cooperation and consensus building is very much in keeping with the founding principles of our Scottish Parliament. We do not agree on everything, but we are coming out of our comfort zones to focus on what we do agree on." On Wednesday, Ms. Sturgeon refused to rule out reimposing COVID restrictions due to the rising case levels. A total of 4,323 new cases were reported on Tuesday. That figure is the highest since the summer wave in July, where cases reached 4,234. She said, "New cases in Scotland have more than doubled over the past week, and that is one of the sharpest rises we have experienced at any point during the pandemic. We always knew cases were likely to rise as restrictions eased, so to some extent what we are seeing now is not entirely unexpected. That said, the scale of the increase is still a cause of real concern. If this surge continues and accelerates and we start to see evidence of substantial increase in serious illness, we cannot completely rule out having to reimpose some restrictions. We hope not to do that." Nicola Sturgeon today renewed her threat to use the election as a way of breaking up the United Kingdom, as she revealed she would join an alliance to block the Tories from staying in power. The leader of the SNP said a vote for her party would reinforce the case for an independent Scotland. And she to join forced with other parties to try to keep Theresa May out of Downing Street if the Tories do not win an overall majority on June 8. Her threat to join a progressive alliance means she could hand the keys to number 10 to Jeremy Corbyn, despite describing him as not a credible leader. Her admission, made in her leader's interview with Andrew Neil, comes after the Tories have warned that the Nationalists would put Labour into Downing Street. She told once the Andrew Neil interviews that strong showing at the ballot box will strengthen her hand to tear the United Kingdom apart. The Scottish First Minister said, "We have got that mandate already. It will underline and reinforce that mandate. But this election will not decide if Scotland becomes independent." Scotland voted to stay part of the UK in a referendum in 2014, which was billed by the SNP at the time as a once-in-a-lifetime vote. But the party has used the Brexit vote to push for another independence referendum, despite many in Scotland not wanting one.